Bitcoin just has to hold one support level in order to make a new all-time high. So in this update, I want to show you what this support level is, why it is so important, but also give you Elliott wave targets for Bitcoin's potential move higher. So let's get right into it. In my previous update, if you remember, price was right there and I outlined just one resistance area which came in around $98,000. But if I go on the 1 hour chart, as you can see, we got the move up, no reaction, so no short position offered. And what happened on this drop? Well, it was actually pretty simple. If I go on the 4 hour chart, we got the fill of this 4 hour imbalance and then a reversal to the downside. Now personally, I did short this move very quickly with an entry price at $100,400 and an exit price at $97,700. If I go back to the chart, as you can see, the short was pretty much at the high and the exit price was pretty much at the lows right there. Now on this drop, what I wanted to see was a fill of this 4 hour imbalance, as it was the only imbalance during this entire uptrend, but unfortunately my level, which was at $96,700, got front run and we got the reversal higher. But what happened on this low is that if I take the volume profile of this entire range, what you will see is that price rejected the value area high, we got the drop to the point of control, and that's where Bitcoin got the bounce from. So this price action on its own is extremely bullish because again, we have this range, we already got a first fake out, which was right there. So at this point, I don't believe that we'll get a second fake out and a drop back into the range. But as I said, there is one support level that Bitcoin has to hold, and that would simply be this value area high, because we have a lot of confluence around this level. The first one is that, of course, if we drop back down and lose this level, then this would mean that in my view, we will get a rotation of the range and a drop back towards the value area low at $90,000. And that's why this level is so important. Now, we do have other confluences. If I go on the daily chart, as you can see, we have a wickless daily candle, and these do tend to get taken out. So if I mark it out, it comes in at $99,900, so pretty much around the value area high. If I go on the 4 hour chart, we have an order block, so I would mark out an area right there and remove this level. And finally, if I go on the 1 hour chart, as you can see, we have a 1 hour imbalance, so I would just fix this area to make it a bit bigger, and this would be the major area that Bitcoin has to hold to the downside. Because as I showed you, we have a lot of confluence, we have a psychological level, we have a wickless daily candle, we have a 4 hour order block, we have an hourly imbalance, and finally, which is the most important part in my view, we have the value area high of this entire range that comes in also at $100,000. And that's honestly the only thing that I'm looking at to the downside. Now to the upside, I also just have one level, which would be this daily imbalance at $106,200. So with that said, as we have the Trump inauguration tomorrow, what I would love to see would be a move up on Monday, make everyone believe that Bitcoin will make a new all-time high, but then reverse to the downside, and now make everyone believe that this was a sell the news event, hold this support, and from there we could get a very nice long position if we do see a reaction, of course, for a reversal higher. However, of course, as I said, if we lose this level, this would be extremely bearish. And that's honestly the only thing that I'm looking at next week. I have one resistance and one support. If we do reach this support and we get a reaction, this would offer a very nice long position in my opinion. But with all of this in mind, I do want you to be aware of Elliott wave targets to the upside, and that would be if I go on the daily chart. Let me just remove these. In my opinion, what we have is actually pretty obvious. We have a 5-wave move. So we have a wave 1, a wave 2, all of this was part of wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5. And if you're wondering how all of this is a wave 3, well, we simply have a very extended wave. If I show you, we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, and 5. And all of this, as I said, is part of a wave 3. So in general, when looking at Elliott waves, when you have a very extended wave 3, in order to find targets for the wave 5, what you would do, I can just remove this now, is take the length of wave 1, so this would be your wave 1, and extend it to the low of wave 4, which comes in right there. And as you can see, the 1-to-1 comes in at $114,000. So I would mark out this level on my chart, $114,000, and I would mark it out as a major Elliott wave target. So with that said, if Bitcoin does move up and reaches that level, and then we see a big reaction, then in my opinion, this could offer a much bigger drop to the downside. Simply because, as I said, if this is indeed a 5-wave move, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then at some point you will expect a correction in a wave 2, which would correct this entire move up. And that's why this level is so important. Mark it out, $114,000. But I will say that if we do break it, you should obviously expect to move to the next psychological level, which comes in at $120,000. And one last point that I want to make is that if we get the move higher first, let me just mark out our level. So if we get the move higher and do not reach our support level, let me fix it, our support level at $100,000, then this would actually be a bit more bearish. So if we get the move up, for example, like this, and we don't drop first, then this would be much more bearish. However, if we drop first, take out the liquidity, and then reverse higher, then this would be a bit more bullish. So just keep this in mind. This is very important. Remember what I said on Ethereum before we got the very big drop is that if we got the move up first and left this imbalance behind, then this would be pretty bearish. And what happened? We did get a very big drop to the downside. So on Bitcoin is the exact same thing. If we get the move up first, let me go back on the 4-hour. If we get the move up first and we don't take out the liquidity at $100,000, then this would actually be pretty bearish. And if we see a reaction, then this could offer a very nice short position. So with that said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this update. As usual, I keep it very simple. So we have one resistance above us at $106,200 and one support area below us around $100,000. If we do get a drop first and we see a reaction, this would offer a very nice long position. And if we do move higher, just be aware of one target at $114,000. So if you guys did enjoy this update, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.